Veronica Caldwell had been driving for nearly an hour now, her mind still circling the classified meeting she had just walked out of. As the newly appointed director of the FBI, long nights and heavy thoughts were nothing new to her. But what wasn't familiar? Trouble showing up on a lonely stretch of road with no one around to see it. And then it happened. Red and blue lights suddenly exploded in her rearview mirror. Her heart didn't race, not yet. She instinctively looked down at her speedometer, 65 miles per hour, right on the dot. No traffic violations. No swerving. No reason for concern, and yet the police cruiser behind her didn't budge. Didn't pass her. Didn't back off. With a sigh that masked her rising suspicion, Veronica carefully guided her car over to the shoulder. She wasn't just familiar with the law, she was the law. But still, she didn't know every patrol unit in the state. So, not recognizing this officer? Not a shock. What was off, though, was him. The way he approached her vehicle, his stance was rigid, unnaturally aggressive. His left hand hovered dangerously close to his weapon, while his right hand directed a blinding flashlight straight into her eyes. She rolled the window down just halfway, both hands perfectly placed on the wheel. "Good evening, officer," she said, her tone cool and composed, professional and polite. But he didn't respond in kind. No explanation. No greeting. Just cold words. License and registration. Something about the way he said it sent a chill crawling down her spine. It wasn't just rude, it was wrong. Off. "May I ask why I'm being stopped?" she asked, locking eyes with him, unwavering. She calmly chewed her gum, keeping her voice steady, but firm. Still nothing. Just a repeated demand. License. And registration. Veronica hesitated, but not out of fear. It was instinct, the same razor-sharp instinct that had saved her life more times than she could count. This wasn't just a routine stop. Something darker was happening here. "Sir, I'm reaching for my purse. It's on the passenger seat," she warned carefully. No acknowledgement. Slowly, she moved, retrieved her wallet, and extended not just her license, but her FBI identification. He didn't take it. He didn't even lean in. Just a glance at the badge, then straight back to her face. "FBI," he muttered. She nodded once. That should have changed everything. Should have de-escalated the moment. But his next words? They twisted the entire situation. "Step out of the vehicle." Veronica's pulse stayed even, but her mind shifted into overdrive. "Excuse me?" she asked, calmly but with warning. He took a deliberate step back, his hand now resting on his gun. "I said step out." Her breathing slowed, but she knew this was no longer a traffic stop. She had read these reports. She had seen this footage. Hell, she had investigated cases just like this. But now? She was the one starring in the story. And she only had two choices. Comply, and risk being at the mercy of whatever he had planned. Or resist, and risk everything escalating in a heartbeat. Before she could decide, his hand lunged for the door handle. That was it. This wasn't about a broken law. This wasn't about procedure. This was about power. Her left hand reacted, snapping to the inside handle to keep the door shut. "Step back, officer," she said with command. "You're out of protocol." His grip tightened. "I said step out." His voice turned sharp. Controlling. Threatening. Veronica had seen men like this before, men who mistook authority for dominance. This wasn't about her being a driver. This wasn't even about her being the FBI director. This was about control. Suddenly, more headlights. Another cruiser pulled in behind them. For a brief second, relief. Maybe a second set of eyes. A witness. But when she looked up, another officer, tall and broad, stepped out. No badge number, no name tag. Not backup reinforcement. The second officer walked toward her. "We got a problem here?" he asked. "She's non-compliant," the first one answered coldly. Then came the voice. "Ma'am, step out of the vehicle." Not Director Caldwell. Not Agent Caldwell. Just ma'am. Stripped of title, stripped of respect. That was the moment Veronica knew. This wasn't about her. This was about a system. A broken system. One that let men like this flex power unchecked and unchallenged. If she flinched, they'd write the story however they wanted. And she wouldn't be around to correct it. She took a deep breath. Then the first officer grabbed her wrist. Too hard, too fast. Her instincts kicked in. "Get your hands off me," she shouted, yanking her arm back. The second officer raised his radio. "We've got a non-compliant suspect. Not a citizen. Not a federal official. Just a suspect." And then, the worst moment yet, a gun.
Drawn.
Loaded. Pointed.
At.
Her.
Face.
Time froze. The night was thick with silence. Paralyzing, suffocating silence. Then a voice cut through the darkness. "I'm recording this." A man stood just off the road, phone in hand, screen glowing. A witness. The officer paused. The second officer shifted, unsure. For the first time, they weren't in control. Then came more sirens. More flashing lights. More officers. They froze. Someone finally recognized her. Director Caldwell. Everything changed in seconds. The first officer's gun was lowered. He was arrested on the spot. His partner? Suspended before sunrise. And the video? It exploded online. The Department of Justice responded fast. By noon, charges were filed. Veronica had witnessed delayed justice before. But not tonight. Tonight, justice hit back. This wasn't just about one bad officer. This was about a system that protects them, a structure that hides them, a culture that excuses them. So, pay attention. Speak up. Share this. Because silence protects the abusers. And we're done being silent.